This is the Midwestern Whisper. This is Whisper 18. Someone told me that my volumes weren't exactly right on the last Whisper, so I've actually set it a little lower. Yeah, I want to make sure it's the right volume for everyone. So a comment on this volume would be good, just to make sure I got it right this time. It is April 18th, 2011, a Monday, and I'm feeling a little under the weather. A few months ago, I went out to the emergency room because I was having severe dizziness, and they went ahead and did a EKG, I believe it is, where they scanned your head just to make sure there was no tumors. Well, luckily there was no tumors, but they didn't see that the right side of my face, the top nasal cavity, was completely swelled shut. It gave me 14 days of antibiotics, which seemed like I was getting better, but here we are 2 months later and I'm starting to get dizzy again. So I've been trying some nasal spray, which I haven't had in 10 or 15 years. Excuse me. See how that does. Definitely leaving a nasty taste in my mouth. But anyway, last night we finally got the baby bed together. As you probably can see with the picture, my wife got a little frustrated because it was actually a used baby bed that someone sold us kind of cheap. Saved us some money on a new one. But it didn't have instructions. All she did was draw us a diagram, and it was a pretty primitive diagram at that. So we had to fiddle around for a while, and she got frustrated. And of course, she's at about 5 months pregnant, so she's kind of moody and cries at the drop of a hat. Well, she kind of did that anyway. But yeah, it doesn't take much to set her off. So she went downstairs, and I messed around with it, tried to find some online instructions. I wish I couldn't. It actually turned out the baby bed's a little older than I thought. It must have been made sometime in the 90s, but I don't think it was used very much because it looks fairly new. But eventually I figured it out myself, and she came back up and we put the baby bumper and the sheets and the blankets and everything on there, and frou-froued it up a little bit, gave it that girl look. And today the wall decals came in the mail that I bought on eBay, so we tested one of them out. The subject is bears and bees and butterflies. So it's sort of a summer, spring, what do you want to say, montage maybe. But they more or less match the blankets and stuff that you probably can see there. So I think she's in better moods today about the baby. And not to get off on a bad subject, but if you've been following my videos, you probably know that I'm about ready to graduate. I only have 2 weeks of classes left, and I've been dreaming a lot. And I'm sure a lot of you have had the dreams that you're back in high school, or even younger, junior high, maybe even elementary, and you can't find your locker, or you can't remember the combination, or you can't find your classroom, or you didn't do your schoolwork. Well, I've been having all those dreams. Occasionally before I started college, I had those dreams, but I've had several in the last week, so I think that subconsciously I'm getting a little stressed. I don't really feel that stressed, like actually worrying about it, but yeah, I think that it's subconsciously it's definitely starting to get to me. But, 3.5 years later, I'm definitely ready to end that chapter of my life and move on to something else. And, like I've said, my town's not a big town, so I don't know if I'm going to have to drive outside of town or if I'm going to be able to use my human services degree here. And then also my wife's shift cuts into the second, third shift, so it's kind of an odd shift. I mean, most likely I would probably work days with human services anyway, but I mean, there's a chance I could end up in an office job where I'd have to work till 5 o'clock. And that would make it kind of difficult with her. Her schedule starts at 4 p.m. Right now, our son hasn't started kindergarten yet. He's still in preschool. So that's pretty convenient right now, but he starts kindergarten in the fall, right about the time the baby's born. So, I mean, that might be okay. But, I'd have to be home at night, so yeah, so I'm a little worried about finding a job that fits my degree. So if anybody wants to say a little prayer, or if you don't believe in that, wish me luck. Anything that might increase my chances. Probably starting this week, I'm going to start looking online a little bit. Put a few online apps in, if I have time. Otherwise, I'll do it next week, and then whenever I get my diploma, then I will probably get out and actually physically go start putting apps in. But I definitely want to have that diploma for something to put on my resume. As you can probably see by now, the drawings on there are my drawings. They're older drawings, and they may look a little skewed because they're on the wall, and I just took a picture of the pictures, but I just wanted to show a couple of the drawings that I do. I primarily do cartoon characters, and most of these are for my son. When my daughter starts getting a little bigger, I guess I'll have to start doing cartoon characters that are more girl-oriented. What is even girl-oriented cartoons anymore? Disney princesses, maybe. Okay, well, it's time for me to go make supper for my son, so I better close this. Thank you one and all for listening, and I'll talk to you real soon.